is an armed militia in an occupied territory, is the militia part of the civilian population? Some people would define it as such. International law and the UN Charter defines it that way. But our governments in the UK, in the United States, and G7 countries or EU countries, many of them, will say no. Armed resistance in Gaza is terrorist organizations. We proscribe them as terrorist organizations. But that goes against the UN Charter. International law says every country has the right to an armed resistance struggle if they are being illegally occupied. And according to multiple UN resolutions, that is undoubtedly the case. There's a massive body of international law that supports that. But our government and in the United States, in Britain and in European countries, they don't recognize that. In their mind and in their foreign policy, their proscription of these groups, even though these groups have never attacked America, have never attacked Britain, have never done any expeditionary terrorism at all, but because Israel says they're terrorists, they have lobbied hard on our governments to label them as terrorists. And not just those groups in Gaza, there's many around the world that fall into the exact same category. Anybody that goes against the U.S. Foreign policy or against the diktats of the U.S. State Department most likely will be labeled a terrorist organization. They will be proscribed. Okay, is that fair? Does that make any sense? Is that aligned with international law? And some would say, whoa, there's no such thing as international law. No, there's not. Not here and not in America. But the other 90% of the globe actually follows it and has to follow it. But our governments don't, because we're special. So there's two tiers of geopolitics. That's the irony, that's the dichotomy, and that's where the debate needs to be.